truth. I don't understand what's with this picture. I hope that this is all a huge misunderstanding, right? Please answer my call or text right now. You must explain everything to me before I go crazy. You're my younger sister. I've known you my entire life. Tell me that you're not doing what I think you are.
Oh my gosh! I forgot to tell you about this, Violet. Even though you're my older sister, we don't text each other that often, you know? Anyways, I'm assuming that you have seen the picture already. It is really what you think it is. I happen to fall in love with your husband, Walker, and I think he has the same feelings for me. So, what do you think about it? I'm such an awesome photographer, right? Don't the three of us look like a family?
I don't give a damn about the quality of that picture. You have to first tell me what's going on. I still can't wrap my brain around the fact that you and Walker cheated on me. I mean, how come I had no idea that you were having dinner with my husband and daughter? When did all of this even start? Nobody gave me a heads up whatsoever in the first place. But this is something I definitely should know about.
Jeez, don't lose your cool just yet. I mean, it's not my fault that Walker and Yolanda have fallen head over heels for me.
Of course I'm going to lose my cool. Today is my daughter's birthday. Don't you know this as Yolanda's aunt? We were supposed to celebrate it as a family. Walker is my husband and Yolanda is my daughter. I don't believe them to be traitors like this. That's why I hurried home from my night shift. But then, nobody's home and I can't get in touch with anyone either. It's absolutely unbelievable that the three of you would choose to celebrate without me. Do you even have any idea how long it took me to choose a present for her?
Come on, Violet. I don't care what present you got her, but it's for sure some cheap stuff. Yolanda is in high school now. She can't always use things that are on sale. Plus, you don't have to get all riled up already. I mean, you know that it's all your fault, right? If you treated your husband and daughter nicely, I'm sure they wouldn't want to dump you so badly like they do now. If I have to be completely honest with you, then Yolanda was the one who wanted this. It seems like she's quite ashamed of you as her mother.
Excuse me. What did I do to make her ashamed then? I'm sure you're the one who has been bad-mouthing me to her this entire time.
She told me that she doesn't want to celebrate her birthday with her mom and dad. And, frankly speaking, I totally get where she's coming from. Instead, she wishes that she could celebrate her birthday with her aunt and dad. I mean, we all know why I'm better than you. Anyways, that's why the three of us decided to dine out together. And the truth is, we've never been happier. Tell you what, we went to Disneyland today in the morning. There were so many rides that Yolanda wanted to try out, so we went on all of them. Then we decided to eat dinner before heading home. There is this restaurant that is absolutely amazing.
This must be a lie. I told Yolanda that I have to work night shift today, so we're going to Disneyland tomorrow. Do you have any idea how hard I worked to get those tickets? They're worth 3 months of my salary. I had to work extra hours every day. And yet, the three of you just went there without me? What were you guys even thinking? Did any of you ever consider my feelings?
Well, I hadn't had fun at Disneyland since forever. So today was a blast. Plus, if you were richer, then Yolanda would have gotten to Disneyland much earlier. So I suggest that you stop blaming others for your miserable life. But anyways, thanks for those super hard-to-get park passes.
What are you talking about? I don't understand what it is that you want. I mean, you're a beautiful woman. What is it about Walker that's so attractive? What's more, I started preparing for Yolanda's birthday 2 months ago. I even went so far as to secretly text all of her friends to ask what present I should get her. Also, I was going to make a reservation for this restaurant where we've celebrated Yolanda's past birthdays. I would have never imagined that the three of you just celebrated without me. I really thought that we are family.
To put it simply, we don't want your present. I don't know how much clearer I can make this for you to comprehend. What's more, I think that you're an absolute eyesore. My stomach churns as soon as I hear your car in the driveway.
Excuse me? Who do you think you're talking to? I come home from work after a long day and this is what I get. Is this the Yolanda whom I know? I've known you for over a decade, but this is the first time you sound like a complete stranger.
I'm not a stranger to you, Mom. I've always been the Yolanda you know. But it's just that I'm so sick and tired of you at this point. I mean, you're super annoying for texting Ruth this entire time. Leave her alone and find something else to do. We're eating right now, but her phone won't stop buzzing. So you need to stop disturbing her and know your proper place.
Yolanda, do you really think that I am an eyesore? Is this what you think of the woman who looks after you and tries her best to provide you with the best quality of life that you deserve? I don't believe you would hate me so much. After all, we've celebrated every one of your birthdays together up until now.
Jeez, how are you not getting this? I'm not even using any sophisticated vocabularies. Maybe you're just too dumb. The truth is, you seriously do make me sick to the stomach. My worst time of the day is to see you come home from work.
What? But do you know that it is only through working that I can provide you with all the clothes you wear and food you eat?
I was planning on telling you this when I get back, but since you're asking right now, then I'm just gonna say it. So, there's something that's been on my mind for a very long time, and I was thinking about letting you know on my birthday. But can you divorce Dad? I know it's not the most polite way to say it, but it's what I want. I hope that you won't mind how straightforward I am.
Divorce Dad? What makes you say this? Do you even know what this will mean for you? Are you ready to face all the consequences?
Slow down with all the questions. I'm a high schooler now, so of course I know what I'm saying. But I like Ruth better for my mother. She just does everything better than you do. Don't get too jealous and just accept reality. That's why I want Dad to marry her. I'm sure the three of us will live a much happier life than right now. I mean, your existence just makes everything turn into hell. The thing is that Dad and I can't enjoy life if he's still married to you. Am I right? I'm simply telling you to just let us go. With that being said, just divorce Dad already, Mom. Don't make anything more complicated than it already is.
Hold up a second first, Yolanda. You've really become someone whom I can't even recognize at this point. How can you tell your parents to get a divorce? Life will only be harder for you as the child if your parents are divorced.
Well, I don't think so. Plus, what's so wrong about telling you to divorce Dad? You and I both know that he deserves better. Dad also told me that he would be more than happy to see Ruth as his wife from now on. He needs someone who truly understands his desires. And that person for sure isn't you. So I don't see any problems with it. Seriously though, but stop obsessing over Dad and I.
Is this what your father really thinks? He thinks that I don't understand his desires. He thinks that I'm obsessing over him and you. Is this even the Walker whom I used to call husband? He's changed so much as well that I feel nothing but shocked at the moment.
He sure is. The only person who changed is you. I mean, just look at yourself in the mirror. Don't you find yourself to be a turnoff for Dad? More importantly, Dad thinks that Ruth will make a much better wife and mother than you. And I can't agree with him more. Plus, he seemed to be on cloud 9 when I asked him to marry Auntie Ruth. He nodded with a huge smile on his face. He told me that he's already looking forward to a new chapter in life. Now I'm assuming that you understand we don't need you anymore.
I can't believe it. So this is how the two of you choose to stab me in the back. My heart is turning cold like a stone.
Yeah, whatever. But please just do me a favor and sign that divorce paper. You need to just stop dragging Dad and I down. The documents are lying right on my desk. Make sure to finish filling them out before we get back. That's how I know you listened to what I said.
You've already taken things that far already? Do you really hate me that much? I don't understand how you can be so cruel to your own mother.
I'm not being cruel. I'm merely making things easier for Dad. And don't call yourself my mother. You make me feel disgusted. Anyways, treat the divorce like a birthday present for me. It'll leave good memories for the both of us. To make you feel better, this is the best birthday present that I ever received from you. I finally don't have to pretend that I'm happy to get some cheap stuff you got on sale from now on. I'm also tired of telling my friends that my birthday present is only worth $100. Just to let you know, but we'll head home when we finish eating the dessert.
Wait a second first, Yolanda. You know that I want to buy you all the expensive things if I can afford them. But we have bills to pay, and $100 is all I have left for your birthday every year. Plus, I just can't get over the fact that you already have the divorce papers ready to go. Have you been planning on breaking your dad and I up all this while? Do you seriously want to see your father and I separate? Is this the perfect family that you have in mind? Are you 100% positive that Ruth will be a better wife and mother than me?
Of course I am. I don't care what excuses you have, but I'm tired of being so poor all the time. I just want to buy whatever I want for once. But it's obvious that you can never provide me with this kind of life. That's why I'm looking for a mother who can.
I see. I respect your decision then. Just know that I've been giving all I have to you ever since the first day we met. But anyways, can you be a little more specific on the reason why you have your heart set on making your dad and I divorce? I mean, what is it that's so appealing to you about Ruth? I don't see a huge difference between me and her. I can't just divorce your father without knowing the backstory. After all, this is my last chance to know it, and I don't want to miss out on anything.
In other words, you want to know why I'm ditching you? Well, everything is actually very simple if you think about it. And that's because you do nothing but embarrass me all the time. I want to hide somewhere whenever we walk together in public.
I do nothing but embarrass you all the time. You want to hide somewhere whenever we walk together in public?
Yeah, that's what it is. I can't believe you didn't even notice how I tried to stay away from you when you dropped me off at school every morning. I mean, you look hideous in that night shift uniform of yours. Your hair is so messy that you could be mistaken for a homeless person. If I have to be completely honest with you, then you're the ugliest among all of my friends' moms. That's why I try to not let them meet you. Plus, you don't even do house chores at all. Our house is always messy. I can never find socks that are of the same color. The lunch you prepare me every day is just packaged food from a grocery store. It tastes so gross and mushy.
I won't say that I look amazing every day. After all, I don't have a 9-to-5 job. My job schedule is rather random, which leaves me with no time to care for my physical appearance. Nonetheless, it's rather your guys' fault that I can't go to a beauty salon or put on proper makeup before leaving the house.
Excuse me? You're funny. I don't remember forcing you to not put on makeup or wear trendy clothes. You're just lazy.
I mean, I have a pile of chores waiting for me as soon as I come home from my night shift. Do you think that I would have any energy left to care about the way I look? You have to hand wash my clothes. Why is my room still not cleaned up yet? All day, every day, you and your father keep telling me to do something. Drive me to that shopping mall right now. Aren't these your own words? But I still do what you tell me every time. I'm pretty much a servant and a house cleaner at home. You should be glad that I still haven't passed out from exhaustion and stress. As for your lunch, it's not like I don't cook for you. Sometimes I use frozen food, but it's when I just don't have enough time. I'm practically left with no choice.
How can you tell me you're practically left with no choice when you're my mom? Moms are supposed to cook delicious and healthy meals for the entire family. Plus, I never see my friends' moms make this kind of excuse for themselves. Every single one of my friends gets to eat homemade food every day. And all of their houses are in perfect order. By this, I mean their socks are always of the same color.
Well, why don't you ask your friends if they help their moms with house chores and all that? As far as I know, you're the only one who can't even pack up your own stuff before school.
I have top grades, so it's fine.
Excuse me.
Whatever you say, I don't want you for my mom anymore. You make me ashamed. On the other hand, though, Ruth looks like she'll be a much better parent than you. Not only does she have a pretty face, she's also good at cooking. I'm sure she could be a mom who I can boast to my friends about.
I am also sure that it's because she's single. I lived a life exactly like hers before I married your father. I was passionate with cuisine and fashion too back then, looking up new recipes and going to the salon monthly.
Tell you what, you look absolutely ridiculous and pathetic with those excuses of yours. All in all, I'm here to tell you that I don't want someone like you for a mom anymore. Now, are you alright with divorcing Dad for me?
Yeah, you bet I am. I mean, I had no idea before that this is how you really think of me. I'll divorce Walker just like you wished for.
You should have said it earlier. But I appreciate your cooperation, though. Today has been the best birthday I've ever had in my entire life. Partially thanks to you.
Good for you, then. So anyways, I'll make sure to pack up my things and move out today. Have fun with dinner, and don't worry about my texts because I won't be sending any.
Hey, Violet. Guess what? You won't believe this, but I just married Walker today. I am officially Walker's wife and Yolanda's mom from now on.
I see that you really married him. That's good for you, then.
I want to tell you something, just between us, you know. But I've always thought of Walker as someone very manly.
Oh, really? I didn't know that before.
He looks exactly like my first boyfriend. Plus, he proposed to me right after our dinner last time. What's more, even Yolanda told me that she wants to be my daughter from now on. So I had no choice but to accept his proposal.
He proposed to you right after the dinner. I guess that this is what Walker as well as Yolanda have wanted all along.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm sure they've already had enough of you by now. I mean, you do know that you could be a handful sometimes, right? With that being said, you should just feel happy for your ex-husband and daughter for finally finding the right one.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I'm glad you realized it. Anyways, just know that you've been dumped and nobody wants you at this point. You're not even Yolanda's mom anymore. All you are is Walker's ex. So make sure to act like one.
I will from now on. Don't worry.
Anyways, you have to pay child support as Walker's ex first. The total amount will be $100,000. Let me know when you're ready.
Excuse me? Child support?
You heard it right. It's for Yolanda. I added in all the educational costs that might be incurred in the future. Listen, it's not like you don't have any responsibility left just because you divorced Walker.
Hold up a second first. I don't think that it's my duty to pay child support, though.
Wait, don't tell me that you have no idea what child support even is. Let me just tell you this. But you're still related to Yolanda, even though her father and you are not together anymore. The party who doesn't have custody rights needs to pay the other party money to cover expenses for the kids. Now, do you understand what it means?
I'm not stupid enough to not know what child support is.
Then you have to fulfill your duty. No matter what caused the divorce between Walker and you, nothing will change the fact that Yolanda is your daughter. With that being said, don't even think about copping out.
What does Walker say about all this? Is he also demanding child support from me?
Of course. He told me that you get bonuses from work because of the night shifts. So $100,000 won't be a problem at all for you.
Excuse me?
Anyways, I'll text you my bank account number later in the day. I mean, it's too bad that not only are you dumped by your own husband and child, you're also going broke. I'm reminding you one more time, but don't forget about the payment.
Why don't you ask Yolanda's real mother for child support?
What do you mean?
I can't believe Walker's doing this to me too, but I should have texted him directly if I knew he was going to play victim. I mean, it's all his fault that everything took a bad turn for us in the first place. He really has proven himself to be nothing more than an absolute jerk this entire time.
What are you talking about? Violet, do you have any idea of what you're saying? You gave birth to Yolanda. She is the daughter of Walker and you.
That's not true. Yolanda is Walker and another woman's child.
Are you being serious right now?
I haven't said this to anyone up until now. But Walker cheated on me not too long after we got married. Then one day, this woman came up to our house with a baby in her arms. She just said, "I'll leave the kid up to you guys," and then left before Walker and I could catch up with her.
Is this for real?
All I remember from that day is frantically Googling how to take care of a baby. I couldn't even think about how Walker had betrayed me. I tried to get in touch with Walker's lover, but I couldn't find her no matter what. She didn't want to be found, and I had to give up. But caring for her, I guess my maternal instincts kicked in. In the end, I decided to raise Yolanda as my own daughter.
Does Yolanda know all about this too?
No, she doesn't. What's more, I'm also positive that she's unaware of the fact that Walker and I have long been divorced.
What? Walker and you were divorced from before?
Yeah, although Yolanda has went out of her way and obtained new copies of divorce papers for me to sign. In fact, I divorced Walker as soon as I found out about his affair. I will never forgive him for cheating on me. But I just wasn't cold-blooded enough at the time to abandon Walker with Yolanda, whom he for sure has no ability to look after. That's why I decided to stay even after ending my relationship legally with him.
This is way too much for my brain to process at the moment. I don't know what to say anymore.
To put it short for you, Walker and I are over. We divorced a long time ago. But he is still Yolanda's legal guardian. I'm just living under the same roof with the two of them. Furthermore, I raised a child who turns out to be a backstabber.
So, you do admit that you raised her? Am I right? In that case, aren't you still obligated to pay child support then?
I'm not related to her by blood. Besides, I'm not kept on file as her legal guardian either. With that being said, you don't have the right to ask me for child support when I didn't even officially adopt Yolanda.
Is that so? Still, you have the same last name as Walker, right? Doesn't that mean you have to pay child support?
My last name has nothing to do with child support. I can return to my maiden name anytime I want. Besides, I could have never thought that this is how things would turn out to be. Tell you what, I kept Walker's last name because I didn't want Yolanda to find out about our divorce.
Okay, I see.
Now you should have a better idea of everything. Anyways, I need to go now. Ask Yolanda's biological mother if you're dying to get that child support. Good luck!
Hey, Mom! Is it true that you're not the one who gave birth to me? Am I really the child of Dad and his lover?
Yes. That's why I'm telling you to just forget about me already. I did everything I can to provide you with basic necessities and not make you feel like a motherless child. But now that there is Ruth, I wish you the best with your life from now on.
It can't possibly be true. Doesn't this kind of shocking family secret or whatever only exist in movies and TV series?
Well, I'm sure that it'd be a blockbuster then. Or should I say a tragedy. After all, I work my butt off every day for a child who chooses to dump me as soon as she finds someone richer and prettier. What's more, I gave my everything to a daughter who isn't even biologically related to me. But it seems to me at this point that she doesn't care about me at all. What a sad ending.
Well, that's because...
Walker's salary has taken a severe cut ever since he was laid off from his previous job. So I had to take over being the breadwinner for this family. That's why I work night shifts every day just for that paltry bonus. Now that I reflect on all my blood, sweat, and tears, I actually regret a lot.
Hold up a second. Dad was laid off from work?
Have you still not heard it from Walker? That's weird. But if he didn't get the chance to tell you the truth, then I'll just do it for him. Basically, your father's lover is the daughter of his former boss. So obviously, he would be fired trying to lay hands on a girl who's way out of his league.
Seriously? My real mom is the daughter of a company CEO? In other words, I am a rich kid?
Well, I guess, yeah.
I can't believe that I am actually the granddaughter of the company's CEO! Oh my gosh, I really should have known this earlier. I guess I should tell Dad to divorce Ruth right now.
What did you just say?
I mean, Ruth is definitely very attractive as my mom. But I have already noticed some rather unsatisfactory details in our daily life. For example, she almost never cooks herself and all we eat is delivery food. And how she looks at night. Ugh. I'm starting to think that she might even look uglier than you without any makeup on. With all that being said, I have arrived at the conclusion that my biological mom must be the best.
I'm kind of confused right now, Yolanda. You went so far as to kick me out of the house just to make Ruth your mom, right?
That was my intention, but not anymore. She's no longer of use to me.
What are you talking about?
I've got to ask Dad for my biological mother's address. I mean, I have to get in touch with her no matter what. If she's not willing to see me, then I'll wait in front of her house and tell her that I'm her daughter face to face. She gave birth to me after all. I'm positive that she would be willing to take me in.
I won't be too sure about that, though. She's never inquired about you up until now. Not even once. You do know this, right?
Well, that's because she thinks you're married to Dad. But now that I no longer have a mom, everything will change. Anyways, I'll find a way to make Dad and Ruth divorce. I can't wait to live in a mansion from now on.
I have nothing to do with all this, so I'll just keep my silence. But I do hope that everything goes well for you.
This doesn't make any sense at all. Yolanda just told me to get out of the house because she doesn't need me anymore. She wants me to sign the divorce papers. What's worse, I have nowhere to go right now. She threw all of my belongings out.
Are you being serious? She already threw out all of your belongings?
I mean, she keeps on saying how she's gonna make her dad marry the daughter of a company's CEO. I don't really know what this is all about, but it seems like she doesn't want to have anything to do with me at this point. We've only been married for a few weeks and Yolanda's already asking me for child support. She demanded that I pay her $100,000 for any tuition fee that might be incurred in the future.
I am honestly at a loss for words. Not only are you getting a divorce after a few weeks of marrying Walker, you also have to pay $100,000 for child support. You could probably win an Oscar award for the best scriptwriter with this life of yours.
It just doesn't make any sense. Listen, Violet. You have to do something about Yolanda. The two of us must join forces in such a time of crisis.
I don't think so. Never in a million years. You'll have to figure out everything about child support on your own.
Are you being serious right now? Aren't you supposed to lend me a hand as my older sister during hard times like this?
You are not my younger sister anymore. Not since the moment you chose to steal my husband. Anyways, I have to go now. Goodbye.
This can't possibly be true. I'm sure that you don't mean what you just said. Violet, please! Don't just leave me! There's no way for me to afford that child support. I don't have $100,000. Hi there, Mom. You know that I won't mind you remarrying Dad. After all, I think that you might be the right one for him.
I don't understand what you're trying to get at. I thought that he's supposed to marry your young and rich biological mother.
I don't want someone like her for my mom anymore. How can she turn her own daughter away at the door?
What are you talking about? What do you mean she turned you away at the door?
Well, I went to her house a few days ago because I wanted to meet her in person. I mean, I tried to get in touch with her through calls and texts at first, of course. But she didn't reply to them at all. That's why I decided to just pay her a visit. But then, when I told her who I am, she told me to never come again because I don't want to see your face. What's worse, she even called her bodyguards to escort me out.
Given how wealthy her family is, I'm not surprised. She has bodyguards for security reasons. They're there to ensure her safety.
I feel so stupid for thinking that I finally get to live my dream life from now on. I guess I shouldn't have kicked Ruth out after all. Plus, even Dad told me I'm definitely making the right decision.
Walker was okay with everything you did? He didn't try to stop you from meeting your biological mother.
Yeah! He even reminded me to make him look good in front of her. He also told me that as long as I act like a good girl in front of my real mom, I can capture her heart. And that's how we go from rags to riches. These are his own words.
What a piece of cow dung. Really. I mean, you should never treat your own child as a tool to help you get rich.
The reality turns out to be the opposite of what I've been anticipating. In fact, I went to see her one more time together with Dad after that. But she came out with 2 huge buckets of water and poured it on our heads before we realized what was going on.
She came out with 2 huge buckets of water and poured it on your head?
After this incident, I decided to ring Ruth up and convince her to come back. But she wouldn't pick up the phone. That's why I'm telling you to remarry Dad, Mom. I want to go back in time and take my life back. Please, I'm begging you right now. You know that I see you as family, although we're not related by blood.
Don't even think about it. Walker and you are not family at all. Just know that the 2 of you are less than strangers to me.
I can't believe this is happening.
I'm not that much of an idiot, contrary to your expectation. So stop trying to win me back. That's never happening.
Why are you being so mean all of a sudden? You took good care of me, although I'm not your real daughter. I'm sure that you couldn't have done it without love, right? Don't you still love me?
Not even a little bit. I don't give a damn about Walker and you anymore. I wish that I could have been the one to pour water on the 2 of you.
Excuse me?
Also, don't text me from now on because I'm blocking you. I'm cutting off all relationships with you guys. Tell your father to get a life himself first so that he can manage to raise you on his own from now on. As for you, you're nothing but an absolute moron, just like him. I deleted Walker, Yolanda, and Ruth's number after that and blocked them. Moreover, I requested a job transfer and now live in a different state. Thanks to this decision, my life has taken a turn for the better. As for Walker and Yolanda, things aren't so easy anymore. After all, it's hard to put food on the table when your bank account is pretty much always overdrawn. What's more, Walker told Yolanda, "You must start working as soon as you graduate high school. Don't even think about going to college." She was also forced to get a part-time job right now since she turned 16 already. Because of this, Yolanda's grades dropped significantly due to a constant lack of sleep.
She now goes to school for 7 hours and works at this fast food restaurant as the cashier for an extra 4 hours 5 days a week. In order to relieve some of the stress and pressure, she has decided to take it all out on Ruth. She waits for Ruth every day at her workplace and demands child support with all her colleagues watching them. Yolanda's also trying to convince her to marry Walker again if she doesn't want to pay child support. I mean, Ruth did legally adopt Yolanda a few days after marrying Walker, so she was her legal guardian before divorcing Walker. This makes her powerless in terms of defending herself. In fact, Yolanda now ambushes Ruth after work Monday to Friday, together with Walker. Ruth seems to be having a hard time at her company because of all the rumors. But I don't feel bad for her at all, as I believe that she's only getting a taste of her own medicine. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button.
Ashley, why didn't you pick up the phone when I called you earlier today?
Are you talking about when you called me earlier this afternoon? I couldn't answer. Why? I was in the middle of my shift. You know that I had work today. They don't like it when we answer phone calls on shift.
I only called because I had something important to ask you about. How am I supposed to reach you when something important comes up and you're at work if you won't even pick up the phone? It's just a part-time job anyway. It wouldn't be that big of a deal, right?
I'm still getting paid to be there. If they won't let us answer phone calls, then what am I supposed to do about it? It's no different than any other job. If you called me while I was on my lunch break or something, then it would have been a different story. I can't just walk out to take personal phone calls whenever I want while I'm on the clock.
This wasn't a personal thing. It had to do with my job. It was really important. I needed you to answer. You were my last hope. You really hurt my credibility.
What are you even talking about? Go ahead and explain yourself instead of blaming me for something I know nothing about. What did you even call me for?
Remember the documents that I needed for my speech today? I accidentally left them at the house this morning. I was trying to ask you to bring them for me, and you didn't even answer your phone. My boss was pissed. My coworkers are never gonna let me live this one down either. If you would have just answered my call, then I could have salvaged the situation.
Oh, are you talking about the documents that I went out of my way to remind you about last night? The documents that I left in clear sight of the living room table for you this morning? I'm sorry, but there's not much more I could have done. At what point will you admit that it's your fault? I really don't like that you're trying to blame me for you forgetting.
Why didn't you remind me again this morning? If you remembered, it wouldn't have been very hard for you to just give me a quick reminder. We're supposed to work together on stuff like this. That's part of being married, isn't it? How about you just take some responsibility? You don't need to make excuses. Just admit you're at least partially at fault.
Absolutely not. You rush to blame me like this every time something goes wrong. You're an adult. How about you stop relying on me like I'm your mom or something? It's not my job to manage everything for you.
I'm not asking much of you. Is it really that odd of me to ask for you to help your husband out every now and then with work? We need to be willing to support each other. That's like the main point of marriage. I don't even want to hear it from you when you can't even understand something as basic as that.
Are you trying to say that I haven't been helping you out? I already explained what happened to you with the phone call. Will you ever be able to admit you're in the wrong? You literally always find a way to blame me. Do you consider that supporting each other? What you really expect is for me to do everything for you.
I'm only worried about what happened today. I don't want to hear about anything else. I don't even know why you're trying to bring other stuff up. Just apologize so that we can move on. To my boss and coworkers, too.
I'm so sorry that I let my husband forget his documents at home after I reminded him the night before and placed them in the most convenient spot possible for him to see in the morning. Yeah, I'm sure that'll help your case. Do you even hear what you're asking of me right now? It's embarrassing.
Well, then you could at least give me an apology. Are you incapable of apologizing? When you mess up, you apologize. It's not that complicated.
I'm really starting to reach my limit with you. I'm always tired from work and I still do all of the chores around the house and even wait for you every day to get back from work. I do way more for our relationship than you do. Why should I have to apologize for the most trivial thing? Because you told me to?
Are you playing dumb on purpose? It's your fault that I got in trouble at work today. I just want you to admit to it and reflect on it.
Why would I do that? What do either of us have to gain from me apologizing over nothing? Are you really so shallow that you need a fake apology to feel better about yourself? You've been like this ever since we got married. It's like you just stopped caring. You know how my doctor recommended that I see a therapist about how I've been feeling lately? Guess what they said? They say that I either need to try to bring you to relationship counseling or leave you altogether. Why do you think that is?
Huh? What does you not feeling good have to do with me? It sounds like you've been seeing some shady quack doctors, if you ask me. Don't listen to whatever they're trying to tell you. They'll just tell you whatever they can to keep getting money out of you.
Yeah, sure. I guess it's a waste of time trying to explain anything to you. I give up. I'm going to bed. Don't come in our room tonight. You can sleep on the couch tonight. And I mean it.
What are you getting so mad about? Isn't it way too early to be going to bed anyway?
I don't want to see your face. There's no way you couldn't guess that much.
Fine. But what about dinner? You'll at least leave something out for me, right? I don't care if you want to sulk in bed all night as long as you can at least do that much for me. I'll gladly sleep on the couch.
I already made something. It's on top of the counter. Just don't come near me. Good night.
Hey, Mom, get this. Ashley has been avoiding me all day. She's acting like I don't even exist. Who does that to their own husband? Over the smallest thing, too.
Did you two get into a fight over something?
I don't know that I'd call it a fight. We just had a little disagreement last night. She's the only one who took it seriously, and apparently she's still mad about it.
Are you sure you didn't say something that ticked her off? She doesn't seem like the type of person to act that way for no reason.
I didn't do anything. Nothing to justify her being this mad, at least. She messed something up, I spoke my mind to her, and then she flipped out on me for no reason. Now she won't even apologize about it. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do about her.
Are you sure she's to blame? I may not have been there to see what happened, but it's hard for me to imagine you didn't do anything to make her mad. You may have said something without even realizing it. Things like that happen sometimes.
No, this is just how she is. She's so stubborn that she never wants to admit when she's in the wrong. It's almost to the point of delusion. She's completely incapable of admitting fault. I'm ready to forgive her and move on if she just gives me a simple apology. Is that really too much to ask? I'm telling you, she can be such a headache sometimes.
I get where you're coming from. Your dad was just like that when we got married. He never wanted to admit fault for anything, even when he was clearly the one in the wrong. There's a certain point at which you need to be willing to concede in disagreements, especially when it's with your spouse.
That's what I'm saying. Forget about apologizing. She won't even talk to me. Do you think that you could say something to her? She won't listen to anything that I say. I'm sure if you say something, she'll listen. And I think you'll know how to deal with her better than I can.
I can give it a shot. I'm fine with trying to talk to her, but I'm not sure that it'll really be very helpful for you guys in the long run. There's not much point in trying to talk her down on this one thing if it's just going to happen all over again. I think you need to use this as an opportunity to set her straight once and for all. That's what will be best for y'all's relationship.
Like what? Do you think that I should just sit here and wait for her to cool off? I really don't feel like doing that. Her tantrum is already throwing off my daily routine. She won't even make breakfast for me.
Don't worry, I have a plan. There's a trick I'd use on your father when he'd start acting out like how Ashley is doing right now. If it worked on him, I'm sure it'll work on her, right?
You've got my attention. If it worked on Dad, then I'm sure it'll work on Ashley. What's the plan? Is there something that I need to do?
It's simple, really. Bring Ashley a copy of some signed divorce papers. Then give her two choices. Apologize or go through with divorce.
I don't know about that. What if I do that and then she actually wants to get divorced? This could really backfire on me if she decided to use it against me. I don't want to get divorced. I just want her to get her act together.
Do you think that divorce is really even an option for her? She doesn't even have a full-time job. How is she going to afford rent on her own? That'd be a big mistake on her part if she were to try and divorce you. She'll have no choice but to apologize to you. And I'm sure she won't try to throw a fit anymore. It's harmless, and you can get her to calm down. It's the perfect trick.
Okay, but what about the 1% chance that things don't play out like you think they will? I can hardly predict what this woman is thinking half the time. And like I told you, she's super stubborn. I'm not sure I'd even be surprised if she agreed to getting divorced if I went to confront her right now.
Why are you so scared about what she might do? She's the one who started all of this, right? If that's the case, she'll realize it soon enough. It'll be fine. She just needs to be faced with some repercussions for her actions. Then she'll realize what she's doing. Just trust your mom on this.
I mean, if it worked on Dad, then maybe it'll work on her. Thinking about it, I guess you're right that she won't be willing to actually go through with it. No matter how stubborn she is, I don't think she's in a good position to get divorced right now. I guess I'll have to give it a try. I'm all out of ideas on my own anyway.
There you go. Aren't you off work the day after tomorrow? I'll go to the courthouse tomorrow and get the divorce papers for you and bring them then. You may as well go ahead and plan on bringing them to her then. I'm sure you'll have her on her knees begging for forgiveness in no time. I've got your back. Don't worry.
Thanks, Mom. I'm glad that I went to you for advice. I don't know what I would do without you. It's all your fault that it came to this. We could have gotten over this easily if you would have just said you were sorry. When you finally understand what you've done, I'll be waiting at home for your apology.
Don't wait too long. I won't be coming back.
Why? Are you planning on running away with our divorce papers? I already have more copies, so there's really no point. Do you really think that you can just run off with the papers and everything will blow over without any consequences? I know exactly what you're thinking. I know you don't want to get divorced, and I know you don't want to apologize either. But you don't have any other options. Do you understand? Hurry up and come back. Stop wasting both of our time with this nonsense.
Oh no, you have copies? Whatever am I going to do? You won't be needing those anyway. I went ahead and filed the ones you gave me with the court. By the way, you know you're not supposed to serve the papers to me yourself, right? But don't worry. I went ahead and signed the waiver, so it should be fine. That means everything's cleared up between us now, right? I don't need to apologize to you anymore, right? Thanks for giving me an alternate choice.
Huh? Wait a minute. You're joking, right? There's no way you actually went and brought those to the courthouse.
I'm dead serious. Thank you for everything up to now. But this is the end for us. You won't be my husband anymore, and I'm not going to be your wife anymore. So leave me alone. I don't want anything to do with you anymore.
No, just wait a second. You're kidding, right? I didn't actually plan on using the divorce papers. Why would you even do that? You shouldn't be doing things like that so lightly.
Why? You're the one who served them to me? You even signed them ahead of time. How are you going to say you didn't intend on getting divorced? You literally signed, consenting to the divorce. Did you not read what you signed? Or did you really think that I'd fall for your trick and come crying to you for your forgiveness? I had no objections, so why would I not sign them as well?
How do you plan on living without me? You don't even make enough money to survive on your own. Do you really plan on trying to scrape by living paycheck to paycheck on your own just to spite me? Anyway, you're the one who started all of this. You have no right to want to get divorced.
Is that what your mom told you? Is that how she convinced you to bring me the papers?
Yeah. But why do you know about any of that?
If you really want to know, how about you ask your mother and not me? I've already made my choice. I won't be having anything to do with you from here on out, and I hope that you'll stop trying to talk to me. Thank you for bringing me those papers. It made things a lot easier. That may have been one of the happiest moments I've had here recently.
You weren't supposed to actually do anything with those. Come on. How about we just go and make sure that we get it dismissed?
You can try and do whatever you want, but I won't be agreeing to anything. If you want to try and do something about it, you should go ahead and talk to the court clerk about it. But I don't think there is much you can do about it since we both agreed to it, right? Either way, I won't be helping you out, so good luck with that. It'll be good for you to try and do something on your own for once.
What the hell are you going on about? This is all your fault. It's been your fault from the very beginning. Your delusions of victimhood caused all of this. You have to help me get this cleared up.
You still haven't learned anything, have you? Even after your plan to manipulate me blew up in your face, you're trying to blame me? Things ended up like this because you're always acting like this. You're always trying to shift blame onto me.
That doesn't excuse you misusing those papers to file for divorce. You're making things way worse than they needed to be. I didn't even do anything wrong.
You signed the papers! I really don't see how you thought things would go any differently. Obviously, I was going to take the opportunity to get away from you.
I was just listening to what my mom told me. It wasn't my idea.
So now you're trying to blame your own mother? You really need to stop with that way of thinking. It's sad, really. And you say that I'm the one not capable of admitting fault. This won't be the last time you find yourself in trouble like this if you don't learn your lesson this time around. Be careful to watch yourself from now on.
I don't want to hear it from you. I won't acknowledge our divorce. I'm going to fight this in court before our proceedings are over.
Didn't you already acknowledge it? You signed the papers. But whatever. I'm fine with you doing whatever as long as it involves staying far away from me. I'll make sure to get my share of our assets and settlements too. Anyway, good luck!
Hold on. Hello? I said wait! Mom, I did what you told me to, and now she really wants to get divorced? I told you that this might happen. What am I supposed to do now? Help me out somehow.
What am I supposed to do? There's nothing I can do. Anyway, wasn't it obvious enough that was going to happen?
What? What do you mean it was obvious? You're the one who said she wouldn't go through with it. That she'd learn her lesson.
Come on. She's been thinking of getting divorced for a while. It was obvious enough what was going to happen if you gave her the chance to easily file for divorce. And look at what you did. I can't with you.
How do you know that? You're not a mind reader. She never told me anything about wanting to get divorced.
Why would she tell you? It's not like you'd listen. She's been talking with me about it for some time. I knew you wouldn't listen if she simply asked you to agree to a divorce.
So, what?
You still don't get it. I was trying to help her out, not you. I just wanted you to agree to the divorce so that the two of you can move on.
Why in the world would you do that? You're lying. This has gotta be illegal or something.
She has good reason to want to break up with you. You've been putting so much stress on her that it's really starting to take a toll on her health. Physically and mentally. I don't want her to go through even more stress trying to fight you in court. You signed the papers of your own will. Thanks for that. For releasing Ashley of the burden you'd put on top of her. How about you just give up on trying to fight this and move on?
Was your story about using it as a trick on Dad even true? Were you lying to me about everything from the start?
Of course that wasn't true. No sane person does something like that. We would have been divorced long ago if I did something like that.
Do you really think you can threaten someone into maintaining a good relationship? It's like you aren't even thinking sometimes. Are you serious? You've destroyed my relationship with Ashley. Do you not care at all? You're the one who's caused her so much trouble up to now. I just gave her a way out. You're the one responsible. Do you not care about that? What trouble? You don't even know what you're talking about. There's something wrong with her if she can't even bear the basic challenges that come with living together. She's never going to find another husband who doesn't bother her if she couldn't even put up with me. Do you really think that getting angry like that over random nonsensical things is normal? That's not exactly what I'd call normal behavior towards one's own wife. That's how Ashley is trying to make it look, but that's not the truth. I had plenty of reason to be mad. In her head, she thinks that she's the victim. Same as always. It's not like I did anything to her. You do at least realize she's been in poor health recently, right? How she's been seeing the doctor recently? Why do you think that's the case? She's been stressed sick by living with you. Do you somehow think that's normal? You wouldn't have let that happen if you were a good husband. It's not my fault that she's so sensitive. That's her problem. I've been acting normal. She's the one twisting everything that I say and reporting it to you like everything is my fault. Do you get what's happening? Tell her to hurry up and come back home so we can get this fixed. You really are the worst. I didn't raise you to be like this. You're trying to act like Ashley doesn't know what she's talking about, and yet you're acting just as she's described. It's no wonder that she's run out of patience. Is our relationship really any of your business? Are you happy with what you've done? Sticking your nose where it doesn't belong and acting like you're doing something good by ruining our marriage. What's wrong with you? I won't be forgiving you for this either. I was just looking out for Ashley. She was miserable. You should be ashamed that it came to this. That I had to help free your own wife from you. Feel some shame for once. You're never going to grow as a person if you stay like this. You're way too self-centered and you really let your ego get the best of you. Why should I feel bad about any of this? And why do you think you're in any position to blame me? I didn't do anything. Like I've said 1,000,000 times. You're the one who pushed us over the edge. You've already heard everything that I have to say to you. Grow up and get your act together. You're not innocent and you know it. You can't be that unaware. You pushed Ashley over the edge. You've been ruining her life for some time now. You bringing those divorce papers to her was a huge burden off of her shoulders. Think about why she wanted to leave you. Think about what you did. So you don't plan on helping me out? You think I should just accept the fact that we're getting divorced? Is it not too late? No matter what you have to say, she's made up her mind. Not to mention she's already turned in the divorce papers, which you signed. You should be worrying about yourself right now. How is that going to help me? How is this good for Ashley? She needs me. What if you didn't have Dad? Wouldn't that have made life harder for you? It's the same thing with us. You need to explain to her honestly what it's going to be like without me. What me and your father have is nothing like the relationship you had with Ashley. I may need him, but Ashley definitely doesn't need you. What do you mean she doesn't need me? I'm her husband. How could she not need me? Look at how you've treated her so far. How could she possibly think that you're a necessity in her life? It's not like she decided overnight that she didn't want to be with you anymore. You've been non-stop destroying her faith in you. Do you know how much you've hurt her up to now? You really need to think long and hard about what you've done and take some responsibility. You're a grown man, for goodness sake.
After that, we ended up going through with the divorce process and I ended up getting alimony from him. With the help of his mom, things went smoothly, and I should be fine for long enough to get back on my feet. Furthermore, after seeing his behavior, it seems that his mom decided that she would be cutting connection with him for some time. Of course, he still showed very little signs of change. He blamed everyone but himself until the end, asserting that he had done nothing wrong.
Just like I warned him, his attitude only led him further down the hole. I can't say that I feel bad for him. Honestly, he really got what he deserved for how he treated me and his own mom throughout the process. I don't really know what exactly has happened to him since then. But from what I've heard from his mom, he's not looking too good financially, what with having to pay the alimony and all. I think he's living in a single-bedroom apartment, living out his life all alone. As for me, I ended up moving back in with my parents as I prepare to move out and live on my own. I still have a lot to do from here. From saving up my money to looking for a new house, there are quite a few things I need to start worrying about from here on out. With that being said, my health has improved since leaving Kevin. If anything, I'm having a much better time with how things are going now. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and consider subscribing.
Hey, sorry to contact you out of the blue. I want to discuss something very important with you. Oh no, that sounds serious. Did you have a fight with my brother or something? No, we have a wedding coming up. Why would we be fighting? I suppose that's true. That's what I want to talk about, actually. Nick and I are having the wedding next month. I'm sure you know this already. Yeah, he told me about that. So, what I wanted to discuss with you is pretty simple. After we get officially married, can you cut off all ties with Nick? What? Wait, you want me to... What? Sorry, where's this even coming from? He told me all about you. I know about how your parents died in an accident and you've basically raised him for the past 20 years. I do appreciate the fact that you looked after your brother for so long. He told me that you had to work in the nightlife to make ends meet. It's a very commendable thing. You tried your best to provide for your little brother. That's right. However, I just can't stand the idea of being related to someone who works in such a dirty profession. I'm sorry, I really can't. I get it. Working in nightclubs and the like, you were there to serve dirty old men, right? I really don't like the idea of people like that. I do understand how you feel, I really do. There have been many times when people have looked down on me because of the nature of it all, but at the time, it was the only thing I could do to survive. What? What are you talking about? There are more ways to work, aren't there? You could have worked in a regular company, couldn't you? There's no reason why you need to work a nightlife. That may be true, but to raise my younger brother, working at a nightclub was the best thing for me. It was the best way to make money, and I could spend more time taking care of my brother during the day. Seriously, are you trying to pin the blame on Nick for having to work in a dirty nightclub? Because that's what it sounds like to me. I didn't mean it like that. Since we only had each other after the accident, I just wanted to be with him as much as possible. I had to quit high school to work, you know? Without an education, working at a strip club was the best choice for me to earn a lot of money while having a flexible schedule. You've been talking a lot about helping your brother. But the reality is that it was just a quick and dirty way to earn easy money, right? Because even a stupid high school dropout can easily earn a lot of money that way, right? Like I said, I can't stand people who think that way. Julia, please. Nick told me about it like it was some kind of touching story, but that's only because he owes you for raising him. In reality, you raised him with dirty money you got from perverts, right? I don't think that's a touching story at all. In fact, I kind of feel sorry for him. You feel sorry for him? Yeah, I do. That's why I'm asking you very nicely, for Nick's sake too, you need to cut yourself out of our lives after the wedding. And don't ever contact us again. I think it's better for him to get rid of such an unclean person from his life. Wait, Julia, I understand why you might dislike the kind of work I did, I really do. But I've already long since left that life. I'm working a normal day job now. I've been living a regular life that shouldn't reflect badly on my brother. Wow. Do you think you're a respectable person just because you have a normal job now? What? Even if you have a day job, you're still just a high school dropout at a dead-end office job, aren't you? Don't act so poor just because you work a normal job now, since the only work you can get is low income anyways. How can you say that? Seriously? Even if you think you're living a normal life, that doesn't change the fact you never even finished high school. Your existence is a blemish on Nick's life. That's why I'm asking you, telling you again. I'm allowing you to come to the wedding since you're his only family. But after that's all done, please just stay away from us. Hello, it's been a while. Do you remember me? I'm Julia's mother. Oh, of course. How have you been, Margaret? I'm good, thank you. Sorry to contact you out of the blue like this. But I actually heard something from my daughter that's been bothering me. I heard that you used to do night work. Oh, you mean... So, is what my daughter told me correct? Yes, that's right. I don't know exactly what Julia told you, but it's true that I used to work at nightclubs. I worked in the industry for over 10 years, actually. Oh, I see. I'm sorry, I guess you must be disappointed to have someone like me as an in-law. What? I'm sorry I didn't tell you about it before. I didn't mean to hide it, but I didn't think it was worth mentioning. But I'm not ashamed of my past either. I worked very hard to raise my brother. No, dear. I'm not disappointed with you at all. I'm a little surprised that's true, but I would never shame you for your choice. Really? You don't mind? See, I can't just swallow hearsay about someone without confirming it myself. Even if it's something my daughter told me, I always need to find out if it's really true. Sorry, I must seem like a kind of bothersome and nosy old lady. No, not at all. Frankly, it's easier for me when people ask me about it up front. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I'll answer anything I can. Thank you so much. In that case, I'd like to ask you one more question. Yes, please, go ahead. Has my daughter ever said anything strange to you? Could you define strange for me? Oh, I mean, did she ask you for something? Anything like that? First, could I ask why you're asking this? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Sorry, maybe I worded it wrong. No, it's fine. I'm so sorry, I'm just not very good at texting. It probably came across wrong. Oh, I know. Could we meet in person sometime? I much prefer talking in person over text. I suppose that's fine? Please, you don't have to be so weary. I just want to check something, or maybe more so, I have something I'd like to discuss. It would be nice if I could get your input on it. Anyways, I won't take up too much of your time. Okay, sure. So... This is my first time attending a wedding as a mother, and I'm actually quite nervous. You're like Nick's mother in a way, aren't you? So, I was wondering if we could discuss it parent to parent. I see, that's what you meant. In that case, would this weekend work for you? Any time in the afternoon will be fine for me. Yes, that sounds great. I'll contact you later for a more detailed schedule. Thank you for your time. Now, if you'll excuse me. Hello, it's been a little while. I need to talk to you about something important again. Is this a good time? I'm good right now, but what do you have in mind after last time's request? I've given it a lot of thought, and I really don't want you to come to the wedding. What? That's what I'm contacting you today for. Of course you'll listen to me, right? Wait, why are you backpedaling all of a sudden? You said before that you didn't mind me attending the wedding since I'm his only family. Like I said, I've given it a lot of thought. I was thinking, since you're working a normal day job now, it would be fine to allow you to come to the wedding. But then I kept thinking it would still be embarrassing to have a sister-in-law who's a high school dropout. That's ridiculous. Are you serious? So please, don't come to the wedding. You understand, right? A dropout with a dirty past like you doesn't have any right to refuse. Your attitude is ridiculous. I'm the groom's sister. I'm his family. It was already ridiculous of you to ask me to cut off my brother, and now you're telling me I can't even go to his wedding? What? Are you serious? It's your attitude that's the problem here. I'm gonna be married to your brother. Why does that matter here? Why? Because I'm telling you as his fiancé not to come. As a sister-in-law, you should be obeying me. Your education and work experience are way below mine. So you're in no position to be questioning my decisions. What gives you the right to... Since you're a low-income dropout, I bet you're not even going to bring proper wedding gifts. So there's really no point in you coming anyways. You'd just be a waste of space. What's wrong with you? Tell me then, how much were you planning to put into the wedding gift? As his only family, you should be spending at least $10,000, and that's only the minimum. $10,000. Yeah, I bet with your low education and low income, you can't afford to pay that much, can you? Then you'll only embarrass yourself if you come. Don't come to the wedding if you're too poor to afford a proper gift. We don't need trashy dropouts at our wedding. Cool, I wasn't going to the wedding in the first place. What? But why? There's a lot of things I'd like to say to you, but I don't think it really matters. I wasn't even planning on attending. So, you should be happy. This is exactly what you wanted, right? Huh? Have a nice wedding with Nick. Well, I guess we're done here. Wait a minute. You can't just say that. Why weren't you planning on coming to our wedding from the beginning? It's your little brother's wedding. You're his only family. Sorry, that's just what your mother and I decided. We both agreed that the parents from both sides of the family shouldn't go to the wedding. What are you saying? My mother, why? Yes, we had a discussion recently. Huh? Why? Why would you be discussing anything with my mother? I mean, when was this even decided? I didn't hear anything about my mother not coming to the wedding. We made the decision the other weekend, actually. Your mother invited me to chat for a little bit. And she suggested, if it was okay with me, that both sides of the family should forego attending the wedding. What? What the heck? I don't get it. Why would that even happen? Julia, I heard that you were talking smack about me at your parents' house. All about how you couldn't believe someone like me was going to be your sister-in-law. About how I was a high school dropout, a disgusting woman who sold her body. Saying all sorts of nasty things about me right in front of your parents. Yeah, does that even matter? What I say at home is my business, freedom of speech and all that. Yeah, you're free to say whatever you want. But your mother is also free to think what she wants when she hears it. That's not what I meant by... She said she was heartbroken the whole time she was listening to you. She couldn't believe the kind of thing is coming out of her own daughter's mouth. She was put off by the idea of going to your wedding entirely. What? Did you think your mother would be on your side? That she would think the same way about me? That she would agree with the things you were spouting? But guess what? Your mother took the time to apologize to me. Why? There's no reason for her to do that. She said she overheard you talking on the phone with a friend. You were laughing about cutting off that old hag-in-law and how next time you'll be telling her she can't come to the wedding. Is that right? What? Your mother was really devastated to hear what you said to me. She apologized to me because she understands how difficult it was for me to raise my little brother on my own. Unlike you, she supported me in my past decisions. It's kind of hard to believe you two are related given how wonderful of a person your mother is. Wait. You're kidding me. Why were you meeting with my mom? I never heard anything about that either. And I can't believe she was listening to my calls like that. Let me just repeat it again so you understand. Your parents and I will not be attending the wedding. That's all. No, why? I don't get it. She knew that you were going to keep me from attending in some manner, so if it meant that I wouldn't be there, she decided she wouldn't go either. It would be strange to have only the groom's family missing while the bride's family shows up after all. So we talked it over and decided not to attend the wedding, period. No matter what you end up saying. No, wait. So don't worry about it. We weren't going to attend the wedding regardless. Hey, wait, please. A wedding without my parents. That's too sad. I'm not going to have a wedding without my parents. Even if you don't like it, your mother already made the decision. Well then, have a fun wedding without us. That girl. She really asked you not to come, didn't she? I'm really sorry about my daughter's behavior. No, it's all right. It's nothing for you to apologize for. She was really upset over the fact that I decided not to go. But she really doesn't seem to understand the situation. I won't ever change my mind as long as she's being stupid like this. You're a lot more stubborn than I would have guessed, Margaret. I always thought you were more of a cheery and relaxed sort of person. Oh yes, I'm definitely stubborn, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get what I want. You know, there was a time in my life where I was seriously considering doing the same kind of work as you did. Really? I couldn't have guessed. My husband's company was on the verge of bankruptcy at the time, you see. Both the company and the family were in such a tight spot financially that I was prepared to take on that kind of work to keep everything afloat. Oh, wow. But the company managed to recover just before that point, so it was more of a near miss into that life. Hearing about your experience, though, it made me remember those tough times and how seriously I was preparing myself for it. So I really admire your determination to go into that life for the sake of your brother. Those 20 long years you committed to raising your brother, I only have the utmost respect for you. Oh, thank you. You're really full of surprises, Margaret. I wouldn't have thought you had such a past. Yes, and that's why you should be proud of yourself. Don't worry about what my daughter said. You're a really strong and amazing person as a sister and a parental figure. Yes, thank you so much. I really appreciate that thought. Please forgive me. You can come to the wedding and you don't have to cut off Nick. So please just forgive me. What's this all about? Please, you have to help me. Nick found out about what's been going on. Oh my. He told me he can't get married anymore and that he wants to break up with me. I didn't think this would happen. No, any sane person would have seen this coming miles away. You tried to cut him off from his only family and had the audacity to prevent his sister from even attending the wedding. Of course he's going to be pissed. No, I mean, he's angry about that too, but he's more angry about something else. What? What is that something? Well, I mean, he found out I worked at a strip club back in college. He's so angry about that. What? You're telling me you used to work at a strip club? But it was only for a short period of time. Only like a month at most. It was just a really short stint. I really wanted to go abroad for my graduation trip. I was only doing it to earn money to cover the trip. After all that shaming you threw at me, wow. I can't believe you could be such a hypocrite. How could you drag on me like that when you've been through the same thing? Like I said, I was only there for a short period of time. I didn't think I'd ever get caught. In fact, I almost completely forgot about all that until now. Then how did Nick find out? Somehow, Nick had a photo of me from that time. He said he got it from an acquaintance. He was told that the girl in the photo looked just like his fiancée. Oh well, too bad for you. I can't believe he found out about it like this. He's so angry, like really, really angry. He kept saying how I should be ashamed of making fun of you, and how I can't complain if he's gonna break off the engagement. He's absolutely right, you know? But he's being so horrible! Even though I was just doing the same kind of job you did, he said he can't accept it if it's me. He called me dirty. He said he can't marry me anymore. Well, well, well. Please, I'm begging you. Please convince Nick. I'm not some kind of gross person. I think he really understands at heart. He's just being emotional right now. I only worked at the strip club for a month. And I didn't get that many customers either. You're wanting me to convince him about what exactly? Like I said, I only worked for a short time. Please just tell him I'm not a disgusting woman. And while you're at it, please tell him not to call off the marriage. Look, what's really disgusting is your mentality. What? You're on your own now. We're not going to the wedding. And if my brother calls it off, then that's it. Nothing more, nothing less, simple as that. No, you can't just leave me like this. Okay, bye-bye. I'll go ahead and let your mother know the wedding's been canceled. Julia and Nick immediately called off the wedding and broke up. It seems Julia was trying hard to get her parents on her side, but her parents weren't having any of it. They couldn't stand how she looked down on other people for their education and circumstances, especially when she had such hypocritical tendencies. Margaret ended up kicking her out of the house indefinitely. Apparently, she'd been leeching off her parents the whole time, even though she was a grown adult, so she's really on her own now. Thanks for watching. If you liked the content, please like and subscribe for more.